I'm going to be sharing with you in this video of a very, very, very powerful topic that I've not heard many people talk about, which is that the only true source of security and freedom that you will ever develop in your life is discipline, is absolutely discipline. I've come to realize that we believe that our security depends on so many things outside of us, like the job that we have and the people in our life and all these different outer world things. What I've come to see is that when we depend our sense of self-worth and security and freedom on the outer world only, not to say that the outer world isn't important, but only the outer world, what happens is that I've come to see in my personal experience that it's a very false sense of freedom that isn't actually true freedom. I'm going to share with you how you can develop true freedom through discipline in this video, how that is your true freedom that you always have no matter what anybody tells you, because people can tell you all sorts of things, but this is something that you can control no matter what anybody tells you. I'm going to share with you how to do that in this video, how to come back into your power and be the person that you truly want to be. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do actually post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally and have an opportunity to do so, all the details for that will be down below. Now, what I want to start off this video with is the understanding that security and feeling grounded, and security that is dependent on any kind of outer world control. I need to control this person, I need to control the circumstance. If you're feeling grounded and feeling a strong sense of security on the external world, what's happening there is that it's false. It's false. Why is this the case? Because when you're dependent on controlling something outside of you, what's happening is that you've literally given away your source, the source of who you are, because reality is a projection that happens from the inside. Some people call it like a hologram. I don't necessarily like that word because it can seem very new agey and unrelatable to many people, but in a way it kind of is. Like reality, consciousness is literally projected from the inside out. It doesn't mean that you're an ego. People think like, oh, projection is ego. No, projection is not ego. It's just how consciously are you projecting, and how conscious are you of the fact that that person is also projecting you, right? So you're both projecting each other. Now, if you have two people that are projecting at each other and they don't know that they're doing that, then it can become ego, if you want to use that word. But that's a whole nother video that I don't even have time to explain in this video. But what I want to share with you in this video is the truth that, first of all, before I share with you what your true source of freedom is the truth that actually if your sense of freedom, if your sense of like, oh, I feel safe in my body, if it is dependent on some job, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a corporate job whatsoever. If you work in corporate, then that's beautiful and that's fine. Everybody has a different path, right? But some people genuinely believe that, oh, if I have this corporate job, right? Just one example out of many things. There can be many things in the outer world that we believe is dividing our security, which is not. If I have the corporate job, oh, now I feel secure. But then look how many people were dependent on, and again, we are connected to everything. So in a way, we are dependent on things. So don't get me wrong. The outer world is important. It's not just saying, oh, just control your inner state. The outer world doesn't matter. It's not like that. I'm just saying that if you only focus on the outer world, for example, a corporate job, look what happened a few years ago with the world, shutting down. Many people thought that they had a strong sense of security in this corporate job. And a lot of those people lost their jobs and lost all their money. Unfortunately, that's what happened, right? But when you have other people that are saying, you know what, I'm going to control the one thing that I know I can control, which is the discipline in my life. And typically these people are entrepreneurs. Not all the time, but most people that understand this are usually entrepreneurs and usually do not work under some system or under some corporate ladder because they have created their own system. They are their own sustainable system. They don't work for a system. They are the system. They are the system. They've created their own system. People work for them, right? They are the system. And so what I'm sharing with you is that, first of all, before I share with you how to develop this sense of freedom, this connection to who you really are, I wouldn't even say just a sense of freedom. It's the closest. I mean, I guess you could say it's a sense, but it's the closest thing to true security and actual freedom that you can possibly have in your life. Before I share with you how to do that, what I want to share with you, again, just want to make it clear, security dependent only on the external world is going to be false. It's going to fall apart. It's going to be, ultimately speaking, it's going to be futile. It's going to be futile. So what I want to share with you instead, an alternative that most people simply haven't considered, is actually that freedom and security comes from devotion and commitment. That's your true sense of freedom and security. It comes from devotion and commitment. Because look, think about it like this. When you are committed to something, when you say, you know what, this is who I am, this is my discipline, this is who I am, this is the type of person that I am, people look at you and they say, oh, that's who he is. They can expect something of you. They can expect that in that timeline, you are that person. Now, things can change. You can change your discipline at any time. I'm not saying that you can't change your timeline and change your discipline. Of course, if you're disciplined to something and you're noticing that it's not beneficial or it's not resonating with you, then change it. But even if you change it, it doesn't change the fact that also you could be disciplined to the fact that you're a disciplined person. You could be disciplined about the fact that you're disciplined. It's this consistent energy where you know who you are. Your attention is your highest currency. That is your freedom. Your freedom is in your attention. It's in who you say you are. That's your money. Your money, your consciousness is literally your money. Money is just energy. So when you know who you are, people are going to try to tell you who you are, and you're going to not blame them. You're going to not criticize them. You're just going to own your identity and own who you are. In my experience, this is true freedom and security. This is the only source of freedom that you can possibly ever have in your life, because there could be all these things happening in the world. People will try to tell you, oh, this thing is going wrong. This thing is going wrong. But it's like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because you're the same. You know who you are. People say, oh my gosh, this thing is going wrong and this thing's not working. Well, my reality is working just fine because I've already established a certain level of self-trust. Self-trust is the highest source of freedom. Self-trust is the highest source of security in your life. When you tell yourself who you are every single day and you wake up and you align with that, you build trust. You are an extremely integral person. Integrity, living with integrity, is where your security lies. People try to seek for security in people, in circumstances, in jobs. And I believe that these things are very important to have in your life. I'm not saying to not have powerful friends, to not have powerful support systems like family, friends, mentors. It doesn't have to be a mentor, it doesn't have to be me. It's like, oh, he's just saying that because he wants me to work with him. No, it doesn't. You don't have to work with me. You don't have to be coached by me. You can be coached by anybody. You can be coached by your family. Everybody is a teacher ultimately. Everybody is just a reflection of you at the core. Not always. Sometimes people are not a reflection. They're just literally, they are a reflection, but sometimes people can be reflecting to you what you're not resonating with or your past reality. So that's what I mean when I say everybody is not a reflection, but they are a reflection. It depends on the moment, right? So it's hard to explain. But what I'm really trying to say here is that if you want to feel free in your life, if you want to feel secure, if you're thinking like, God, I feel really unsafe in my life right now. Maybe if you're thinking, I'm feeling unsafe, I feel like I want safety, I want security. Maybe you want to build a certain vortex of energy, of security, and you could call it masculine energy, like a container, right? I wouldn't say it's masculine energy. It is. But even a female or a woman needs this. This is a necessity regardless of your gender. Discipline and security is not just what a man should be doing. I believe that this concept of discipline and security and freedom coming from discipline It's something that every human being needs. This is a necessity. This is a non-negotiable necessity. If you want to have sanity in your mind, if you want to have consistency and sanity, if you want to not be swept by the currents of life, if you want to be not a slave to your emotions, if you want to be not be a slave to life, if you don't want to be mastered by life, you have to become the master. If you don't master life, life will master you. So the key is to find freedom and security through consistently aligning with who you say you are. Because now you know what to expect in your life, because you know that every single time you say who you are, you're going to align with that, and your imagination will start to create your reality. Imagination will become your reality, and you'll trust that. See, when somebody says imagination is reality, that in of itself is a whole timeline, collective reality, and a belief that many people and souls are just not there yet. And this takes courage. This takes fearlessness. This takes so much fearlessness, because you have to say, you know what? I am going to become an independent thinker. You might be, maybe in your life, you've been looking for help and asking for guidance for your whole life. Now you're going to be the person where people ask guidance from you. People are going to ask guidance from you because you are the security. You are the source of security that people are looking for. You are the container. You are the space. You are literally the container that people are looking for. There's going to be all this chaos happening in the world, and at some point, somebody's going to want to ground into a safe and secure place. Where is that security coming from? It's from you, or from the ones that are courageous enough to decide who they are and to align with that. That's security. That's security. Security is not chaos versus chaos and then looking for. That's not security. Security is a state of being. If you're frantic and you're chaotic and I don't know what's happening with my life and oh my gosh, I need to go find a job, I need to go, and then you get the job but really you don't feel, and you get the job but you feel unsafe in your body and you can't sleep at night. Is that security? Is that security? Is not being able to sleep at night because you're scared of losing your job but you have the job security? That's not security, that's a delusion. And I don't want to say it in that way, but I'm telling you the truth that if you want to feel security, you gotta find discipline. Doesn't even matter what necessarily. There's infinite possibilities to what you can define yourself as. You just gotta choose something and commit to it. Make a choice. Make a choice, because when you make a choice, now you are secure. You are secure. You're secure through trusting your choices. You are secure through trusting who you say you are. You are secure through devotion and commitment. That's freedom. If you want to feel free, you need devotion and commitment. No exceptions. Why? Because this is a need. This is not up for debate. This is a human need. This is a human need. This is not a luxury. This is not about like, oh, maybe you feel passionate. This is not about, I mean, yeah, you can build passion and excitement with this through living through excellence. This is by living through excellence. But this is I believe this is a basic human need, because if you don't have this, the probability of you losing your sanity and losing your mind and getting swept into the collective currents of life is higher. Now, there's always a chance you could lose your sanity. There's always a chance that you could fall into some weird timeline where somebody convinces you of something that you don't resonate with. That's always a possibility. But if you want to lower your chances of that and increase the probability of you feeling grounded and safe and truly secure, you need discipline. It's just what I believe. So what I want to conclude this video with is that you need to control who you are, not what is happening around you. Freedom has nothing to do with controlling what is happening around you. Freedom has nothing to do with manipulating what is happening around you. Freedom and security has to do with you controlling who you are, your inner state of being. And of course, this is about controlling the outer world in a way, but really the outer world naturally fixes itself when you decide to make a choice on who you are. And so when you do this, you will see for yourself. Don't take my word for this. I don't want you to take my word for this and see me as some like whatever, like better than you or whatever. I'm not. It's just like everybody has this capacity, but you need to remember and unlock this capacity through making a choice and trusting yourself. And having somebody in your field of consciousness that is also on that same path and also disciplined is very useful. In fact, it's kind of necessary. In a way, it's not necessary because you got to make the choice first, and it's an inner journey of you're going to basically alone on this journey no matter what. It's all you. You're basically alone, but you're going to attract other people that are also in that independent energy as a reflection of you. So in a way, you need people, but in a way you don't. It's hard to explain. But in a way, you definitely do need people, and you definitely, I guess you don't need them, but I will say it's an extremely, to say the least, but in a way you do need it, it's an extremely useful tool to have. So if you want to get started on this, I would say choose who you are, align with that, get going, and make discipline happen in your life. Make action effort. This is the middle path. This is the path of action. This is the path of devotion, commitment, and action being a state of being where you are in flow. And when you are in flow, you will typically attract others that are resonating. And you will notice that you will sense if this person is a powerful reflection of who you want to be. You will just know. You will just sense it because you know who you are, you make the choice. And if they're not aligned with who you are, you will just know. You will trust your emotions. So you don't need a person, but it's so useful, and I encourage you to reach out to somebody if you resonate to do this that is on the same path as you, because you can be winning together. But again, if you don't feel called to that, you can be alone for a little bit too, whatever feels right to you. But whatever the case is, anything that allows you to be disciplined and define who you are, that is the key. Okay, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. I think this is one of the most powerful topics that can truly change your life. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, all details for that will be down below. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.